would be fun to just kind of do a simple grouping of shamrocks. Don't forget, shamrocks are 3 leaves in their group, as opposed to 4-leaf clovers, which are very similar in their looks, and they're both fun for St. Patrick's Day. But I am going to do the shamrocks. I started out with sketching with watercolor pencils. I happen to be using the Caran d'Ache, and this particular one is called Light Olive. And I just kind of sketched in some ideas. One thing kind of fun with shamrocks is they look like little hearts. And so if you just kind of enjoy just the feeling of stems coming out of the dirt, shamrocks do grow in little groupings, and these are the young ones, right? And then I also used a yellow ochre pencil, and this is called light ochre with Caran d'Ache. And if you need to, just use a straight edge or a ruler and, make sure things look reasonably straight for you. But don't be intimidated by playing around with your watercolor pencils, because unlike regular drawing pencils, you can blend them right out when you start painting with them, with your watercolor. So that kind of makes it pretty cool, right? I find that straight lines come out easier when you do them in short little spurts. And this curved one at the bottom should be reasonably similar, which I'll make this curve a little bit more defined. They should be similar and parallel to each other, these 3. So that will help your painting have just a little bit less of a wonky look if you have the ones that are supposed to be parallel have the same general curve to them. And again, if you want to play with your pencil marks to kind of fix them or whatever, or they go over, it's no big deal because you're painting with watercolor on top of it, right? All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to go with a size 8 brush, round brush. I like silver black velvet, as many of you do. I'm going to go to burnt sienna, and I'm just going to start putting a layer of burnt sienna in here. And the nice thing, these are like clay pots, right? The nice thing with something like burnt sienna is that you can go ahead and do texture with it and have it look a little bit more clayish, versus doing everything real straight. Don't forget that if you're painting the sides, which you want to be straight, then take the last strokes and pull them out so that you don't have those straight lines left to dry in that position. So straight to have the edge work, and then pull it out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and swoop around. I have a full real-time class in Patreon for this. It's in the $15 Painting Adventures tier. And that may sound a little pricey because I know a lot of Patreons are super reasonable. But let me just explain to you that $15 a month, which of course you can cancel at any time, it includes 4 to 5 classes such as this that are exactly only made for my Patreon site, nobody else's, nothing else. But then you have 2 live classes available to you. 2 live interactive classes. They're usually held on weekends lately. So there's my little clay. I'm going to go in with a little yellow ochre. And those classes are normally $11 and $14. So included in that $14 price, you're really getting quite a bargain because you can paint, or you can take it with a tape. But I love doing the live interactive. I'm going to turn it upside down. just so I can get a clean edge with my point painting away from me. Try not to go like this or this. Let me show you a side angle of what I mean. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to go straight up and down. You want to be able to find a clean line by doing it angled away from where you are, okay? And I'm looking at it, and I think I need to come up just a tiny bit there. We'll see. And again, even though I penciled it in with a watercolor pencil, I can still switch it around to suit my eye of what I think it should look like. And that's a pretty cool thing, right? Let's go straight on, kind of a close-up again. So there's the clay pot. I'm going to fix this side just a little bit, but I'm really going to make it very, very clean at the end with the watercolor pencils. So I'll show you that little trick too. But here we go. I'm smoothing some of this in. Oops, push that back in with my little finger. So there's the first layer. I'm going to go back in with the burnt sienna, and I'm going to just go right here with it. Again, the point is away from me. I'm new to Facebook. I've been painting for years, a couple of decades, but I'm new to YouTube, I should say. I'm on Facebook. I'm on all kinds of social media. My group is called Cindra's Art Room on Facebook, if anybody wants to come visit me and see what's going on. A lot of sweet people from all over have good conversations and a lot of kindness there. And I'm all about kindness and joy. So if you're my kind of girl or guy, come on there. So there is that look. I'm going to go. I'm trying to be fairly quick because I know that I'm doing burnt umber, by the way. Oh, excuse me. With YouTubes, I know you don't want a full-on class, and I haven't learned how yet. I still have a learning curve to go with YouTube, but I haven't learned how to do a time lapse yet. This is over my pay grade already, even doing a lot of technical things that I do. But sooner or later, I will figure that out, and then I will do a nice fast one for you, so you don't have to be bored while I'm slowly, although not that slow because I know I have to keep it moving. All right, so there you go. So let's talk shamrocks. I think I'm going to switch over to a number 6 brush. I'm going to my sap green. And I'm going to go right in there and do these sweet little heart-shaped leaves. I'm doing them in the interest of time. I'm just doing them, popping them in one at a time, one half leaf at a time. But what I'm going to do is I've got a pencil here, mechanical pencil, that I've pushed in the lead. Just pushed it in. And as the paint is still wet, I'm going to scribble in some kind of leafy little veins and let that water color just kind of form into those areas. And it's kind of a fun little trick I like a lot. So we have some nice little texture going on. I'm also going to go in with my burnt umber, and I do want to show that it's separate. So each of the ones that I have the darkness over is a separate leaf. And even though it's got a double side to it, it's a separate leaf. So I'm trying to kind of push that back in a minute, trying to kind of indicate on this one that these are separate. So there you go. That's my first one. And I think it's just so sweet and so fun. With the stem itself, you can just take a little bit of dampness and just kind of blend it out. I'm not going to do all three for you, but aren't they sweet? The one that's the real time in my Patreon group, the adventure group, I actually did a single one, and let me show you that one. And there's the look of the single one with the shadows, a little bit more shading, some of the same textures I just showed you for the three prongs of the leaves making up a shamrock with three pieces. But this one I think will be very cute as I layer it also and have a grouping of three shamrocks. I need more intensity, more shading, and I'm not going to take your time to do it. But if you can picture this, being this, then you get the general idea, okay? I hope you're having fun and having a good day today and spreading kindness. Hope to see you either on my Patreon site. There's a link right at the top in the bottom section of the main page. But also please subscribe, hit the subscribe button and also the little bell that lets you know when I have new paintings. And you have a good day. God bless you.